Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel, I just share some of the thoughts, ideas that I've been thinking about over the day, some of the things that have been going on in my life. And in today's video, I just want to talk about this new book by Dan Sullivan and Ben Hardy. I think it's called 10x is easier than 2x. And basically, the reason I want to talk about it today is because I've been listening slash watching the few podcast episodes from Benjamin Hardy, so the co-author of the book, and I've been really enjoying them. So basically, one of the main concepts that really struck out to me was uh, this idea that, sorry, Alexa, stop. Okay, the concept that really stuck out to me was this idea that in order to reach 10x, you need to let go of 80% of what you're currently doing and only keep 20% of your current life, or basically your current approach. Whereas for 2x, the ratio is reversed and basically you're keeping 80% of what you're currently doing and then only changing 20%. And basically, this is such an interesting concept because basically, like, basically, it just illustrates the point that if you really want to go big on something, you need to make, you need to completely change your approach to it, and only keep the 20% that are the most, like, the basically the most essential things, or the most helpful things that you are currently doing, and basically revisit 80% of your strategy. And this is something that's kind of interesting because basically it forces you into a different mindset and different. Basically, it forces you out of a local minima, into searching for a global minima, or uh, maxima if you're looking for a maxima, depending on what your optimization problem is. I just find it really funny when I talk about, concepts that I encounter in life in terms of optimization problems, because I feel like life, uh, all of life is an optimization problem, and basically most of the failures that, or basically most of the things that are going wrong in life is we fail to see that we are optimizing for the wrong thing, and we fail to see that basically uh, we are using a greedy algorithm approach rather than maybe a depth first search or like maybe some sort of gradient descent with noise. I mean, I just find it super interesting to talk about, like, to visualize life as an optimization problem, and basically, whenever we're not making the right decision, is because we're optimizing for the wrong metric, and we fail to see the big picture, and then optimize directly for the outcome that we desire, rather than optimizing for uh, uh, intermediary metrics, or what we can call proxy metrics. And I just find this topic super interesting. And yeah, I mean, I'm super happy with basically the this podcast by Ben Hardy. And actually, I think it's the format of YouTube videos. So basically, I'm just listening to them on my Spotify instead of on YouTube, because I don't have the YouTube app on my phone. So I just do it on Spotify. But honestly, the quality of the videos is really good. I mean, I do listen to it at 2x speed, but for me, I really enjoyed them. And yeah, I mean, the production quality, I would say it's normal, but I really think that the content here is the most important aspect. And I don't think this kind of videos, like talking head videos, require that much production quality. So great job that you're doing, Ben Hardy. And basically, I just binge listened to like 4 or 5 episodes, I think, of about 20 minutes, so 10 minutes in real listening time for me, because I'm listening at 2x speed. But I just found like all of the concepts super interesting, and basically I'm looking forward to basically exploring these ideas more, maybe actually listening to the book, because maybe not now, maybe when I when I go on vacation in a few weeks, not on vacation, but when I go back to Morocco, I think in about 10 days, a little more than that. Uh, Maybe I will do some reading then, because right now I'm focusing on just staying consistent and like just ticking off my boxes. And yeah, whenever I'm here, I like I'm always sleeping super late because I procrastinate for a bit, and then to feel good about the day, I need to do the things that I committed to doing. So for now, that's doing some interview prep for some potential interviews that I will have with this other tech company that I'm in a process of interviewing for. I mean, this is if uh, if the outcome of the interview that I had on Thursday goes like if the outcome is positive, then uh, then this preparation that I'm doing will be helpful. If not, that's okay. I'm just practicing my interviewing skills. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. But it's been kind of fun. Kind of forcing me to do some reasoning again, and I've been enjoying it, even though my brain is pretty shot by the time that I start doing the interview prep. But that's okay. Also, another podcast episode that I really, really enjoyed today was this podcast episode on the Tim Ferriss show with this guy. He's a neuroscientist. His name is David Eagleman. And it was so interesting because he talked about this topic of sensory augmentation, and I just found it super interesting. Like basically, he was talking about maybe using more sensory augmentation in our lives to basically build a sensory knowledge or intuition based on our senses about data that we can't actually sense. Let's say infrared data. He says that he has an infrared bracelet, and basically that he is able to feel uh, when there's, for example, an infrared security camera, or he's able to feel when someone was sitting on a chair and then got up because basically because of the temperature. And that's really, really interesting, and it's a new way to explore data. And I feel like anytime we introduce a new way of you know interacting with data that we didn't have access to, like we're bound to find new discoveries and like stumble upon new things. And I just thought that his approach was very refreshing and interesting. So I added some of his books to my to read list. Obviously, by now my to read list is extremely long, so I've been adding them to my Blinkist, which is basically the list on my Blinkist to listen to is kind of stacking up pretty fast, but also because the blinks are pretty short, I'm hoping it will just give me a sneak peek of the books that I want to explore and basically help me decide which book I want to dive deeper into. And yeah, maybe when I have a bit more time this summer to read a bit more, but for now we'll see how it goes around, like in the next few weeks. Yeah, as long as I'm still in the state of limbo with work, I just don't feel like reading too much or anything like that. My brain is mainly preoccupied with this. And so yeah, there's only so much that I can be thinking about at the same time, and that I can allocate mental energy to. And yeah, for now, I'm okay. I'm giving myself permission to not basically force myself to read or anything. I'm just trying to focus on basically enjoying whatever I'm doing. And so, yeah, for now, it's been podcasts. I've been listening to lots of podcasts, which I've been really enjoying. Um, and also, one interesting thing that came out from one interesting hypothesis that came out from this podcast episode with this neuroscientist David Eagleman is that basically he proposed like a hypothesis about why we dream, and basically it's kind of funny because like we associate all of these meanings to dreams, and basically we start to interpret them and everything. And this hypothesis that he established is kind of a funny one. I mean, it could turn out to be true, but we really don't know. And basically, the hypothesis was that we dream to protect the visual areas in the brain and at night. So at night, basically because of uh, reduced visibility, and also because of sleep, we're not using our uh, visual cortex, or basically the visual areas in the brain. And it's basically a protection mechanism. Like dreaming is a bit of a screensaver. That's why I thought it was interesting for our, for our brain to maintain that area in the brain that's related um to uh, to anything visual that allows us to see. And this is a very interesting and also fun hypothesis to think about. We'll see how whether or not this hypothesis is true. But yeah, I just thought that was quite interesting. Uh, and also another funny one was I was listening also to. I mean, I love Dan Sullivan. I mean, probably by this point, from listening to me on this channel, you already know that I'm a big fan. And basically, in this podcast episode 131, if you want to go listen to it, it's super cool. With Peter Diamandis on exponential wisdom. So this is the podcast that he hosts with Peter Diamandis, and basically, like the main takeaway from this podcast episode was that if you want to be uh, like successful or optimistic and all of the good things, just bet on yourself. I mean, maybe there's no logical uh, like logical link there, but if you want to find out about the logical link, I definitely recommend you go check out the podcast episode. I'm just doing a very bad job of conveying the information that was in the podcast episode, mostly because I don't remember too much, except from the things that I took notes of. So yeah. But one thing that I thought was funny is that basically Dan Sullivan was talking about the fact that uh, when he was getting started with his coaching business, uh, basically he was betting on himself and on his basically future of coaching. And basically just said that basically like because he went bankrupt apparently like once or twice, uh, which is kind of interesting. And basically he was just describing that bankruptcy, when he went bankrupt, which also happened to be the day that he got divorced. Maybe, yeah, I think that was it. Like bankruptcy was just an extreme form of market research that allowed him to gather information about maybe the market and what can be done and what cannot be done. But it was just a very interesting view, like a good way of reframing failure and things that are considered as failures by society in general, because they're not focused, like when you're not focused on a long-term vision of, like, basically on learning things for the sake of learning them, and basically the long-term view you have in mind, it's really easy to see small setbacks as failures, but actually, as Dancer even said, failures are just market research. Basically, they allow you to learn more about what doesn't work, so that you can learn by elimination, learn the right thing to do by eliminating all of the wrong things to do by trying them out, because at the beginning you don't know which are the right things to do and which are the wrong things to do. And this is such a refreshing take on reframing failure as just market research and a way to grow and an opportunity to learn about an area that you're interested in. So fail fast, fail often. And also related to this, there was also this episode by this lady, Lindsay Lineman. I think it's a very small podcast overall, but basically the podcast is called More Than a Paycheck, and I think she used to work at Amazon. And basically, she was also talking about the fact that failing fast is really important, and basically, you should try to get comfortable with failure by putting yourself in situations where you will for sure fail, because in that way, you are artificially failing, but you're also learning how to fail in a good way and reframing failure from not I'm a failure, but I'm learning new things. And basically, you can learn to deal with failure and not take it personally against you and just keep going despite the failures that will come eventually, like as part of life, because life is made of ups and downs, and basically learn how to handle them better. So basically, putting yourself in situations where you will fail, and that will teach you only good things and how to deal with the emotions that are very often associated with what we view as failure, and basically reframing them as learnings in the same way that Dan Sullivan was reframing his bankruptcy as an extreme form of market research. Yeah, just overall very, very interesting topics. I definitely recommend you go check out these podcasts that have been that I mentioned in this video. So yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in. You can click here to watch my previous video on the channel, and you can click here to watch my latest video on the channel. Maybe I inverted the order this time, but that's okay. No, actually, I just used a different hand. So yeah, same location. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, night, whichever time of day it is where you are right now. Bye for now, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.